Doomsday teasers have finally been released. And the most interesting part isn't which hero appeared or which villain showed up, but the fact that the Russo brothers are openly saying, "Pay attention, there are clues." And when the Russos say something like that, it usually means these aren't just random shots, they're part of a layered story. I personally feel like these 4 teasers are showing different locations, different characters, and different emotions, but they're all actually pointing in one direction. They're all repeating one theme: children who should not exist. Kids who either should never have been born or whose existence violates the rules of the multiverse. And this is where the real horror story of Avengers, Doomsday, begins. Understanding the context. After the Loki series, the MCU's multiverse control system disappeared. Before, there was the TVA and He Who Remains. There was the sacred timeline. Everything followed a strict rulebook. If a timeline branched too much, it got pruned. But after Loki Season 2's ending, the multiverse became a living tree. Free will is allowed. Branches are allowed. But obviously, freedom has a price, and that price is instability. Avengers. Doomsday seems to be exploring exactly these consequences of instability. Breaking down the teasers. First teaser, Steve Rogers. The first teaser is emotional and nostalgic. We see Steve Rogers in the 1940s living a normal life, and then the big reveal. Steve has a child. This moment seems wholesome, like Steve finally got what he always wanted. But according to multiverse rules, this is a nuclear bomb. This child should not exist. Steve traveling to the past and living there created a branch timeline, and that branch only survived because the TVA no longer interferes. This is a free will existence that's only possible because of Loki's system. If the multiverse is collapsing with incursions happening, these branches would be erased first. From Doom's point of view, this child is a problem threatening the multiverse. Second teaser, Thor. We see a broken, desperate Thor praying to Odin. This isn't the carefree Thor from Love and Thunder. This is a father who just wants one thing: to get back to his daughter Love. But there's a disturbing detail people missed. Thor has Stormbreaker in his hand, even though Stormbreaker was passed on to Love. This means either Love isn't with Thor anymore, or something terrible has already happened. Love's case is complicated because she was resurrected using Eternity's power. She's alive because of universal power. If the multiverse itself is dying, Love's life force would be draining too. Love is dependent on Eternity's power, a child with God-level power who was technically dead but is now alive. Another child who should not exist. Third teaser, Cyclops. This one hit hard, especially the Cyclops moment. The anger shown here isn't normal battle rage. It's an emotional outburst. This feels like a father's anger. The strong hint is that this connects to Rachel Summers, Cyclops, and Jean Grey's daughter, who's missing or in danger. In the comics, Rachel Summers has a connection to the Phoenix Force, another cosmic entity with universe-level power. But here's the twist: Rachel Summers shouldn't exist either. In Days of Future Past, the timeline was changed. Logan altered the past, which brought Scott and Jean back to life. They were never supposed to be alive. Their child was never supposed to happen. Rachel is a byproduct of a corrected timeline, another child who shouldn't exist and goes against the natural flow of the multiverse. Fourth teaser, Black Panther. On the surface, this teaser with Black Panther, Namor, and Fantastic Four seems like a political alliance, but Shuri's line is revealing: "I have lost everyone I care about." People are connecting this to T'Challa and Ramonda's loss, but at the end of Wakanda Forever, Shuri got another reason for hope. T'Challa Jr. If Shuri is saying she's lost everything, the implication is that little T'Challa is also missing or in danger. Another child who's disappeared or threatened. The pattern becomes clear. When we put these 4 teasers together, the pattern becomes crystal clear. Doom isn't fighting heroes. Doom isn't going to war with armies. Doom is trying to repair the multiverse, but according to his twisted logic, he's erasing everything that's become a threat to the multiverse. And what's most dangerous according to him? Those characters, those children who should never have existed, powerful children born from wrong timelines, alive in wrong ways, or existing under wrong rules. Doom has 110% seen a future where these children will do something that threatens the multiverse or threatens Doom himself. The Fantastic Four connection. The post-credits scene from Fantastic Four. First Steps follows this same theme. Doom coming to Franklin Richards' room wasn't accidental. Franklin Richards is the multiverse's most powerful child, a living form of the power cosmic. It's heavily implied that Franklin's birth wasn't possible before. Reed and Sue tried for years. Nothing happened. My guess is that Kang decided Franklin Richards would never be born in any universe. But the moment Loki took over and free will entered the multiverse, when sacred timeline control disappeared, Franklin Richards could finally exist. Another child who shouldn't have existed. The real conflict. Doom's logic is that all these children are ticking time bombs for the multiverse. He's going after every character who wouldn't exist under He Who Remains rule. But since Loki gave the multiverse free will, these characters started existing. This is the real conflict of Avengers. Doomsday. You won't get good versus evil, you'll get order versus chaos. He Who Remains rule had no free will, but it had a set of rules and order. Loki's rule has free will, but free will without proper rules creates chaos. The Russo Brothers are showing this chaos through these teasers, intentionally presenting the story in a fragmented way. Every teaser follows the same theme from an emotional angle. But the big question is, what does Doom have to do with this chaotic multiverse? We'll get the answer in the movie. Maybe Doom is doing all this for his own child too.